Master of Orion 2, Battle at Antares. Originally released in November of 1996, and still available today for $5.99 in a 2-pack with the original game on Steam and GOG. This is, of course, a 4X game, as the original game was. But now you do much more micromanaging, as now on planets you have to directly assign how much of the population is working on production, how much is farming, and how much is doing research. In addition to this, it is now possible to build individual structures on planets. Structures can do any number of things: serve as defenses for a colony, automatically generate food, or research, or even production, or serve to simply make the population more effective at one of the given tasks, and oftentimes both. And you can also have colonies on multiple planets around the same star. Each of these planets needs to have their own structures built upon it, and requires the same individual attention. So having 3 colonies around one star means 3 times the work. But it also allows 3 different things to be done at that star at once. You might have one planet churning out ships for combat, while another one builds troop transports for invasions, while another is producing trade goods to keep your empire from bankruptcy. You can now colonize any planet you wish without restriction. However, not all planets are created equally. Planets that are irradiated or toxic require more maintenance costs. They also cannot be farmed upon, so all food will have to be brought by freighters. You also need to see how much population will fit on this planet, and what kind of minerals are available. Finding a planet that has a toxic atmosphere and ultra-poor minerals means it's not a good place to colonize. On the other hand, finding an M-class planet with ultra-rich resources is a planet you want to colonize immediately. And planets can have all kinds of random events take place on them when you find them. They might be rich in gold or jewels, generating money. Or be a splinter colony that you get for free, just for discovering the planet. Or a planet might have a native population, which will only farm for you, but they generate a lot of food. A star can also be assigned a governor. You get governors randomly and you must choose to hire them. They can have all kinds of bonuses: production, population growth, research, even simply give you money for your empire every turn. But you can only have a total of 4 of them, regardless of how many stars you have, and each one can only impart their benefits to 1 star. Ship design and combat is the other major portion of this game. This time around, you are best served by building a small number of very large, powerful ships. And, when designing new ships, you don't lose your old ships this time, and in fact, you can have a colony refit them into the new design, as long as the ships are of the same general size. You have more options of what you can do in ship combat as well. You can deploy fighters, for example, board and capture enemy ships, or self-destruct. How ships attack planets has also changed. Planets can no longer endlessly build defenses. There are very particular structures that you can build for defense, and only one of each. 1 missile base to, launch missiles, ground batteries for beam weapons, a space station, of which there are several different sizes, though you can only have 1. So, while it is possible to defend a planet very well with structures, they can't become invincible in the same way that they did in the first game. Another variation is that production is not the determining factor of victory this time. Research is how you win. Make your technology more advanced than your competition, and you are virtually invincible. As research is somewhat different now. No longer does the random hand of fate determine what you can research. Everyone will have to go through the same steps to get to technology. And if you're playing a race that has creative, you win. As each level of technology has multiple things to research in each field, but if you're creative, you get all of them. Do you want to develop the first shields or mass drivers? Well, if you're creative, you get both. Should I research biospheres or the hydroponic farm? Well, if you're creative, you get both. So while there are many races to choose from, there is virtually no reason not to go with Cylons, as they have creative as a perk. And you can even make your own race this time, which is a lot of fun to experiment with, but here again, always take creative as one of your abilities. No matter what you think is going to be a big burden to sacrifice, creative and the research it grants you will eliminate that weakness. As in the first game, you can win by being elected president of the galaxy, or by conquering everyone. But you also have a third option. That subtitle, Battle at Antares, that actually has a meaning here. As you play the game, you will randomly have the Antarans attack various planets, and not always yours. High up in the tech tree, you can research a portal to attack the Antarans. If you attack them, and successfully beat them, well, you win. And when they attack you with their ships, if you have built ships with assault shuttles, you can board and capture Antaran ships. And you might think, well, these are a great boon to my fleet, but there's a much better way to use them. In fact, you should scrap these ships, but save before you do it, because when you scrap a ship, you have a chance at getting one of the technologies that the ship has that you don't have. So scrapping the ships can bring you some very impressive weaponry, or the best armor in the game, or best targeting computers, or a number of other things. But you're gonna need a lot of assault shuttles if you plan to do this. So, is Master of Orion 2 still worth playing today? Yes, but it is not as challenging as the original game. It is a more complicated game that is also easier to exploit to win. But having said that, it's only $6 and it comes with the first game, so it's absolutely worth your time and money because it's $6. And being a 4X game, this is an endlessly replayable game. And maybe you want to challenge yourself by not doing any of the things I recommended. It's all your decision, it's your empire. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.